Hello, my sewing friends. It's Friday Sews. I'm Jen, and this is my sewing room. And thank you so much for stopping by for Friday Sews, where I talk a little bit about life and a little bit about what I've been doing in here this week and a little bit what I plan to create next week. You know what? I spent all morning watching Friday Sews. It is the greatest thing to be able to do a search on that hashtag, and then where it says filter, you go to most recent, and whoever told me to do that, thank you so much. And then all the people come up. I found 2 new people that I was able to subscribe to. And you will just find so many wonderful sewerists. I think I just made up a word, but anyway, lots of people. And it's a wonderful thing because it just really pulls our community together. And I am so grateful that everybody's joining in. The more the merrier. Yay. Okay, sewing this week. One of the things I cut out was this. This is Simplicity 1945. It is from 2011. It is a Khaliah Ali pattern. I cut out the pants, and I'm going to cut out the top here. And I'm doing that for my daughter McKenna, who is my oldest. The knit for the top is in the dryer right now, so it's just a basic yellow bamboo jersey. But the pants are out of this crinkle rayon. And I apologize for the crackling. I know this makes a lot of noise, but so that's going to be for her. And I used crinkle rayon, and it may or may not work on these pants because this calls for knits, and that's got some stretch. And it's a remnant basically from a caftan I made that I gave to my neighbor. And she loved the fabric, hated the caftan. I looked terrible in the caftan, so the pattern was kind of a fail, but the fabric wasn't. Well, I didn't have enough to cut these long enough, so McKenna loves wide leg pants, and I thought, oh, this is perfect for her. So I turned it on the cross grain, and it does have a fair amount of stretch, but I don't know how this is going to work because the actual crinkliness to the gauze is going horizontally instead of vertically. But there's kind of a stripe woven in to the fabric, and that's going vertically instead of horizontally. So, we'll see how that is going to work. But anyway, I decided on that, and I cut out the pants, and I would have cut out the top until I pulled the fabric out and spread it out and thought, did I wash that? That's rayon, so maybe I should. So just to make sure, I usually wash my fabrics first before I wrap them on bolts, but you can't be too sure. So I think that top is going to go really quickly because all it is a raglan sleeve t-shirt with a cowl that you attach, and that's how you finish the neckline. So basic cake. And these pants, I could probably just whiz up on my serger like right now and be done in half an hour. So quick couple of makes. This week I made a couple of cardigans. This one is the Harper cardigan. This one is a new look cardigan from the 1990s. I wanted to do kind of as much as I could, an apples to apples comparison of how an indie pattern would work and then how a big 4 pattern would work. And was one easier than the other? Was one harder to follow than the other? Just a basic comparison. So I'm going to do a separate video where I talk about that because I have a lot of things to say about both patterns. And I've always said I'm a big 4 loyalist, and I really did want to give both these things a serious try. Even though I've been making a lot of independent patterns, I just really wanted to give it a try and just see how they measured up. So that's coming up. Along those lines, boy, there is nothing like whining and crying on YouTube about, I don't have time, to get all the encouragement from all of you. You all were so wonderful. You just, wow, my self-esteem went through the roof. It was like, we love you whenever we can get you. And what happened? I had already uploaded and scheduled a video for Sunday of last week, or this week, I guess. And then I did another one on Tuesday because I knew it was going to be really fast. And I mean, the lighting is terrible, and I didn't add a whole lot of, additional things in. And I was like, we thought, I'm sure you guys were thinking, we thought you didn't have time for this. Yeah, well, I also got a lot of other stuff done. And I think sometimes you just feel weighed down by emotional stuff that's going on. We've got this big thing going on in our family, and it's exhausting, to be honest. But, let me tell you this, 5 kids, somebody is always crying. It was true when they were little bitty kids. It's true now. It's a bunch of women disagreeing. So, what can I say? 5 girls, there are good things and bad things. But when you have all that emotional stuff that you're trying to deal with, I think it makes everything look overwhelming. And it did last week. And so let me just say again, thank you so very much for being so encouraging and so kind and so generous with your comments. Wow. Thank you for your comments about my tragic Laura Ashley dress on Tuesday. Yeah, that just did not translate the way I thought it was going to. That fabric is really pretty. It's just a poly woven. It's not as light as a chiffon, but it approaches that. It's a very thin woven polyester. And it drapes like a dream, but the maxi combined with all those ruffles, boy, I got a lot of feedback on the ruffles, and I want to say thank you because, it's important to get the feedback. A lot of it was, you're too old for that. And you're right. I might be too old for ruffles, especially that many ruffles down the front. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's in timeout in the closet until I feel like dealing with it again. I am working on the Itch to Stitch Mountain View jeans. I made a pair. I made them from a pair of jeans that I found at Goodwill. I took them all apart, and then I used those to cut the pattern. And I wanted to try those and use that as a muslin for the fit. And so I need to finesse the fit a little bit before I cut into my good fabric. But I discovered something very interesting and helpful, and I got to tell you about it. When you go to print a PDF pattern, now I don't print every page. If I look at the layout of the way it's going to be printed on the big block, and I get rid of the pages that don't have anything on them. And that usually works with the Itch to Stitch pattern. Kenneth Wong made use of every single bit of the block that ends up when you tape all the pages together. Well, I also don't print every page of the instructions. And when I print, I use recycled paper, and sometimes I can print on both sides if I'm using new paper. So right there, you're cutting down the amount of paper that you're having to use. So the way you do that is when you hit print in Adobe, it'll bring up your printer's dialog box, and it gives you all these options. Well, I was looking, and I thought, I'm telling it the page ranges and the whole thing, and I thought one of the options was booklet form. And I thought, booklet form? Well, okay. So I printed my instructions like a booklet. This is so cool because they're all there. Now, if you need a bigger size print, you probably should do it on regular size paper, but I knew I could probably see this. It is quite a bit smaller, but put your glasses on. It's not bad. I mean, the print is fairly small, but not that small. So it prints it so that you have 4 pages, because it does it front and back. You have 4 pages per sheet of paper. And if you print it in grayscale, think of the ink you're saving. So great idea. If you really want to see me do it, I will do a quick tutorial, because all I'll have to do is just share my screen and then do a voiceover. That would not be hard and wouldn't take a lot of time. But anyway, this was one of those ideas that just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I thought, that is so smart. So I folded it. You can, if you have a long enough stapler, you can staple it like on the inside. You know, you can bring your stapler in like this way and staple it on the inside. I didn't, my stapler doesn't do that, so I just went along the edges, but it still works just like a little booklet. And you know what? It fits in this, which is where I keep all my patterns. It just goes right in there. Right? Okay, I also, when I did the Sinclair cardigan, I tried that, but the print was so minuscule, I couldn't even see it. I finally thought, okay, this is not gonna work. But what I did was I printed it on both sides, and I told it to print it so that it's kind of like a tablet. So here it's printed all on one page in landscape mode, but it works like this. So it does work kind of like a booklet. Or a tablet, or like a calendar, where, isn't that the greatest? Saved a ton of paper because I could do that. You know, any way that we can save ourselves paper and ink on printing PDFs is totally worth it. Probably somebody else has thought of that, just so you know. Anyway, okay, let me ask you this. Are you really good at folding tissue patterns so that they go back into the envelope just like they came out? I am really good at this. Really, really good at this. Look at this. I had to trace this, or I had to cut it. I didn't trace this one because I cut the biggest size, but see how this is? That's exactly like it came out of the envelope, because I am really good at that. Who cares? Seriously, who cares? Most of the time you cut the pieces apart anyway, and you got to put them back in. I'm also excellent at folding maps, which, yet another useless skill, because who uses maps? Nobody uses maps. Everybody uses GPS. I mean, seriously. So I am really good at useless things. Yay, go me. I just think that's hilarious. You couldn't be good at something useful, Jen? No, but I'm really good at useless things. Okay, so I think that's all of the sewing for the week. And in the coming week, I'm going to work on those Mountain View jeans, because I'm doing a collab with Stephanie at Stephanie Farrell Focus. I love her. And I'm going to work on, like over this weekend, hopefully have it done by Sunday night, this Khaliah Ali pattern for McKenna. So life, let's talk about life. I started painting. I have a great big ladder out there in the living room, and it's because my ceilings are high. And so in order to cut in, which is, you know, you paint at the edges, and in order to do that, I needed a big tall ladder to get up there. And that's the hardest part of, I knew it was going to be the hardest part of painting out there. Couple of things. I have textured walls, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to smooth drywall, but these walls are textured. I don't know if it's a Florida thing. I don't know. But I tried satin paint and I tried a semi-gloss, and I found that the semi-gloss was going to reflect more light, which is what I need out there. So I started it, and now I'm really excited because it's going to be so fantastic when it's done. I'm excited. I just need to get out there and, you know, keep at it, because it's going to take me a while. I mean, these walls are tall. There aren't that many of them, but they're tall. So I got that going. My husband and I sat down and, well, let me start by saying my friend Renee mentioned Battlestar Galactica, the show. It ran from 2004 to 2008, I think on the Sci-Fi Channel, but don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. But it's about a society that has to basically reassemble in space when the planets that they all live on are attacked by an enemy. So it's about how the politics, the general day-to-day life, jobs, money, how that all works out in a society that's stuck in space and is running from an enemy. So you have the civil government, you have the military, you got, oh man, it's just so great. And it's got really good characters. It's a really good show. Well, I watched part of it. You know, I would like dip in and out of the episodes. And So Renee mentioned it, and I thought, yeah, I should start watching that again. That would be fun. So I asked my husband if he would like to watch it, and he said, oh, I'll give it a try. Well, every time I do that, he gets hooked. So every night we've been watching at least 2 and possibly 3 episodes of Battlestar Galactica. So I have not been getting to bed before 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock, which is late for me. I like to go to bed early and get up early, but you know, my body wakes up at whatever time now anyway. It doesn't matter how much sleep I've had. So that's been really fun. And it's kind of something we can do together. We are big movie people, but he's a big TV person too. He watches a lot of TV. He likes to get into a series, and he said it's like 24, and I would never have made that comparison. I didn't watch 24. So anyway, it's really been fun. It's like our thing. He's like, he'll walk in the door after work and he'll go, Battlestar? We cue it up and start watching it. It's really fun. Last thing, my nails. I don't know, a couple of you have said, your nails are so pretty. What's the name of your polish? And these are acrylics, and they have gel polish on them. I go every 3 weeks or so, and I have them done. And I do that because I color my own hair, and I don't get my hair cut more than about once or twice a year, and my neighbor does it. So everything like that is free. I don't buy a lot of makeup because I don't wear makeup much. And so this is kind of a splurge to me. And to be honest, I've been having my nails done since about 2000. And I did it because my nails are naturally pretty soft, and these things are hard. If you have acrylic nails, you know how hard these are. They're like, they don't bend, they don't break. They're tools for me. I mean, I spend a lot of time just, you know, scraping things off and, you know, doing the things that you have to do with your fingernails. But I do that, and I spend that money because it's kind of my thing. You know, I would be spending that money on getting my hair cut if I wore short hair, or I would spend the money on makeup if I bought a lot of makeup, or I would be spending it on coloring my hair, which I do myself. So I don't feel too bad about it. It's my little thing I do for myself. So what I'm going to do is the next time I go see Emily, I'm going to look on the bottom of the bottle of polish that I choose. I do all kinds of fun colors, but I'm going to look on the bottle and see if I can get the name of the polish. I'll just put it in the description box. I'm not going to talk about fingernails, but yeah, I'll do that in the future. So if you ever wonder, it'll be there. A lot of people do lipstick. I'll do nail color. Yeah. That is just about all of life. So let's talk about all those things in comments. Have a fantastic weekend. Make sure that you go check out all the Friday sewers. Make sure you check them all out because you'll find new people to watch. And it's just such a pleasure to be able to sit down and know that you're going to be able to catch up with your favorite people. That's it for now for me, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.